Okay, we're going to review a kind of a tricky topic here in 2.05, and those are called definite and indefinite articles. You've been using articles a little bit, and you've seen them here and there when you did el muchacho and la muchacha. The el and the la are articles, they're called, and those happen to be definite articles. So in Module 1, you talked about Spanish nouns like girls and boys, muchacho, muchacha, estudiante, profesora, maestra, things like that, being either masculine or feminine. But in Spanish, not just people are masculine and feminine. That not just people have gender, but actual items have gender too. It's kind of a concept that's hard for us to get used to in English. The definite article tells us that the book libro, for example, is masculine. Okay, so the el libro means that a book is a masculine item. And a table, la mesa, because it's la, think of la muchacha, remember? La mesa is going to be a feminine item. So again, if you look up in a book in the Spanish dictionary, you're going to see libro and it's going to have an M behind it, meaning that it's masculine. Now, don't try and make up any rules like a couch looks like it's masculine or a table looks feminine. For example, the word dress is el vestido. So the word for a dress is actually masculine. So don't try and make any sense of it. You just have to memorize the article when you memorize the noun. So you're going to click on this URL and read some rules about how to make nouns plural. Okay, there's some little tricky rules, but make sure you read that carefully. You might want to also, we can click on this. You also might want to print this for your own reference. If you look down at the bottom and you go to print page, it's going to give you a really nice reference form of how to form plural nouns. It's always a good idea to make sure you do that. So you can either write it down or you can print that for your Spanish notebook. Notice el libro is singular and masculine, but when it's plural, you need to make both plural, so it's los, and you have to make book plural, so it's los libros. So to make la mesa, one table, into the tables, you're going to make it las mesas. So those are the definite articles. And again, remember that is like saying the. El or la or los or las are four ways to say the. Now remember, you also learned about indefinite articles. Remember you said es una señora, es un muchacho, etc. Those are indefinite articles, remember, and it works the same way. So for example, a book, un libro, becomes unos libros. You have to make both parts of that plural. You have to make both the definite article plural and the noun plural. So, for example, when you had un muchacho, a boy, to make it more than one boy, you'd say unos muchachos. So those are definite and indefinite articles, and that is how you go ahead and um, how you make them plural. So you're going to have a work file here that you need to do as always. Check your answers, and then let's take a look at the assessment. Now, this one, a lot of them get turned in incorrectly because students do not read the directions. So let's read the directions carefully. It says this is a voice assignment. It says for more about these nouns, go ahead and peek ahead to lesson 206. So if you really want to know, you're going to look ahead to 206 and find out what these nouns are. And you're going to go ahead and it says right here, record the definite and the indefinite article and the noun that describes the picture. It says beware, some pictures may be singular and others might be plural. Don't forget about the gender. For example, if the picture of a book, you say el libro and un libro. So for example, let's just do number one together. So we've got boys and girls together. So we would say los muchachos, and we'd say unos muchachos. We could also say the word for students. We could say los estudiantes, unos estudiantes. Okay? So make sure you do both the indefinite and the definite, and be very careful that you match the gender and the number. Okay, that's the only assignment for this one, 2.05 voice activity.